Coming up tonight, even before Sinovac's Covid-19 vaccine hits the market, clinics are flooded with calls for it. Ngee Ann Poly is in the process of sacking the lecturer who made racist comments towards a mixed-race couple. And Japan workers scale a great height to make sure a Buddhist statue is properly masked up. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. Now, it appears that the Sinovac vaccine is very much in demand here even before it hits the market, with hundreds calling the 24 private clinics that will offer the shot. Although the Health Ministry had said anyone interested could only contact the selected providers from tomorrow, people weren't able to wait. Non-stop inquiries are what some clinics are getting, hundreds of calls in just a few hours. The 24 clinics were chosen based on their locations, but also on their ability to safely, properly and efficiently administer vaccines, as well as to set a suitable cost, expected to range from $10 to $25 per dose. MOH said that as the vaccine is being provided to them for free, there shouldn't be any additional costs beyond vaccination administration fees, which already include consultation charges and GST. Perhaps the questions on most minds now: will the second stage of Phase 3 heightened alert go ahead? And what about dining in? No definitive answer from the Covid-19 Multi-Ministry Task Force yet, but the Dean of NUS's Salisbury Hawk School of Public Health thinks dining in should be allowed to resume to some degree.
I actually think that we can permit some degree of dining in to resume, but this needs to be communicated very clearly to the public that the situation remains very precarious, and we encourage people to dine in only if they are from the same households, because right now the rule is you could have 5 people to dine in. So perhaps dine in restaurants or in eateries, hawker centers, if you are within the same household. Try to essentially minimize any cross-household interactions or just coming together for social gatherings.
Yet another food centre undergoes mandatory testing. Now, this time, it's Telok Blangah Drive Food Centre and involves 100 storeholders and 30 cleaners. The exercise comes after yesterday's confirmation that a second worker there was infected with COVID-19. The hawker centre is also closed until tomorrow for deep cleaning and disinfection. A quick look at today's case numbers. 27 new infections were confirmed today, with 20 in the community. Now, 2 are unlinked and the remaining 18 linked to previous cases. 7 imported cases were also confirmed. Ngee Ann Poly is in the process of sacking lecturer Tan Boon Lee for serious misconduct. The decision comes after NP's internal investigations into 2 incidents. The first involves Mr. Tan captured in a now viral video making racist remarks to an interracial couple in Orchard Road. As for the second incident, Mr. Tan's former student, Nurul Fatima Iskandar, alleged on Instagram that he made Islamophobic comments in her class back in 2017. Responding to NP's statement, Ms. Nurul said, quote, "It reads like a typical signal that all necessary actions have been taken and that the case has been closed." Adding Singaporeans have to keep conversations about racism going and continue to speak out and speak up for minorities. Among labour figures released by the Manpower Ministry today, the youth unemployment rate climbed higher last year amid the pandemic compared with previous downturns. It hit 10.6% last year, higher than what we saw during the 2009 global financial crisis and the SARS outbreak in 2003. About 4 in 10 employed youth are in temporary jobs or contract work, made up of mostly students who work on the side. Let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. China's Shenzhou 12 spacecraft has successfully docked with the Tianhe space station module in a landmark step for Beijing's space ambitions. Blasting off this morning, it carried 3 astronauts sent up to complete the space station. It's the third of 11 such missions. Now, for 3 months, the 3 astronauts will live on Tianhe, testing the module's technologies, including its life support system. Not quite leaving the Earth's orbit are these 4 workers in Fukushima, Japan, although they had to scale a terrifying height to place a face mask on this giant statue of the Goddess of Mercy. 3 hours was how long it took them to carry up the 57-meter-high statue. Now, it's meant to be a prayer for the end of the Covid-19 pandemic and comes as Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga announced today that Japan will lift the state of emergency in Tokyo and 8 other regions from Sunday. However, quasi-emergency measures will remain in place. And later tonight at their Euro 2020 match against Denmark, Belgium players will be kicking the ball out of play in the 10th minute so that the entire stadium can pay tribute to Christian Eriksen with a minute's applause. That's according to lead striker Romelu Lukaku. Why the 10th minute? Well, that's the number Eriksen wears for international duty. Both players are teammates at Inter Milan. After scoring against Russia on Sunday, Lukaku rushed to a camera shouting, "Chris, I love you." Meanwhile, according to the Danish FA, Eriksen will be fitted with a heart starter device. Now, Rafael Nadal has pulled out of this month's Wimbledon as well as the Tokyo Olympics. In a series of tweets, he says he's listening to his body and is choosing to recuperate after a long clay court season. The short 2-week turnaround between the French Open and Wimbledon was a key factor as well. We might not be able to eat at our favorite hawker center at the moment or even when June 21st rolls around, but that doesn't mean we can't appreciate them from the comfort of our own homes. The National Heritage Board has launched a new digital photography series titled Our Hawker Culture, Built for Great Taste. It features 12 beloved hawker centers across Singapore, celebrating the often overlooked architectural features of our community dining rooms. Through the lens of 4 local photographers and their personal anecdotes, experience a different perspective of these spaces that have become integral to the everyday lives of Singaporeans. It looks pretty cool. Check it out at roots.gov.sg. That wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Keep safe and I'll see you tomorrow.